welcome back to Ethiopia. We believe that knowledge is power. My name is Steve Robertson. I'm here to empower you through knowledge and motivation. I'm not a professor. Let's get to learning. And in today's video, we are learning how to become more intelligent. First of all, let us note that there is a difference between intellect and intelligence. Usually you think that you can train your intellect or sort of like build on your intellect because it's basically like what you know. And you can always read more books, you can always watch more documentaries, whatever, to expand your intellect. But your intelligence is basically how your brain is built up and all of the sort of connections that your brain makes. Basically, it's about the connections your brain has made. And the more connections your brain has made, the more connections your brain can make. The more you understand different patterns, you will understand things you've literally never learned. So it's just sort of about expanding your brain itself, or like what part of your brain you're using, what you know. Basically, the more intelligent you are, the easier it is also to expand your intellect. But we'll definitely have a video on expanding your intellect as well. But today we're focusing on intelligence. So in today's video, we have 9 tips to improve your intelligence. The first tip is basically to read books and then make sure you understand the books. So basically doing research within the book. If there's a concept you don't understand, it's making you miss out on a connection. If there's a word you don't understand, then look it up and expand your vocabulary naturally, and also expand your understanding of the book and of the things itself. And once you really understand these books, then engage in conversation and discussions about the books, thereby getting both other people's understanding and also sort of sharpening your own points and really engaging your brain in a totally different and more extensive and intense way where you have to understand it really. Now, this will improve your emotional intelligence, your memory, and it will also just engage and stimulate your brain, as well as actually help with your decision making, because obviously you're making up decisions, you're making up your mind all the time, and probably also changing your position a little and then strengthening your position a little. And it's really interesting actually. And there's this really awesome thing that I found out while researching for this video that shows that after you sort of engage your brain intensely like this, your brain is more engaged also in a period of time after. Sort of like when you work out, your metabolism is higher for a while, like your brain metabolism is higher for a while, so you're basically becoming more intelligent also after without doing any work, which is so awesome. And directly, obviously, this is sharpening your vocab because you have to, and also your rhetoric by engaging in those discussions. And these are things that will not only help you become more intelligent, but also sound more intelligent, which is also a video that we're working on. The second tip is to learn a new language. This is something that I always bring up to people because it is one of the absolute best ways to become more intelligent. It stimulates your brain so hard. It's basically like working out your brain. It sort of like increases the size that your brain has to work on, as well as it combats memory loss and dementia. Number 3, kind of similar, is to do riddles and crosswords, which is something that I always remember my grandparents doing, actually also to combat memory loss and dementia. And this increases your, this is sort of a hard word that I've only read, neuroplasticity, which is basically what I was talking about with intelligence, which is opening up your brain to new patterns and understandings. So like I said, the more you know, the more you can know sort of situation. Obviously, plasticity has something to do with being like moldable and movable, right? So it's about your brain being and that way more open to new things. And speaking of being open to new things, number 4, learn new things. And here you have basically the same concept. The more you know, the more you can know, and especially the more different types of things. And not just like as in knowledge, but basically learning a new skill, doing something just challenges your brain in a completely different way each time and makes it have a deeper understanding of other concepts than it's used to. And every challenge, like whether it's a physical challenge or mental challenge, is something that your brain is involved in, and that is sort of a workout for your brain when it is new. Something that is not a muscle memory, your brain actually has to work. Number 5, work out regularly. Working out regularly floods your brain cells with BDNF protein, which is something that I am too much of a social studies nerd to go too deep into yet. That is a protein basically that is really, really good for cognitive development. That is something that is so good and so sought after that people are like looking at ways to increase it naturally, taking supplements for it, everything is just really good for your brain development, really, like even as an adult. It also improves your focus, your memory, your concentration, and again, your understanding. And number 6 sort of goes hand in hand with this, which is to watch your diet. It is not a new phenomenon or like not new knowledge that what we eat actually has a big influence on our brain, but it's something that we should definitely be thinking about if we're actually serious about improving our intelligence. Basically, you want like omega-3, fatty acids, vitamin K, all the goodies. And some really good things you can eat to get these things that are written down are seaweed, flax, avocado, nuts, berries, tea, cocoa, soy, kale, grains, and spinach. So eat up. Tip number 7 is something that I also always give to others that I actually have to get going with myself. I'm actually following the advice on learning a new language. I am studying Czech. But tip number 7 is to learn a new instrument. Personally, I would love to learn the piano, or basically the piano. I've been wanting to learn guitar sort of because it is easier and I love singing, but I do prefer to sing to piano. It's just more challenging. But really, now that I have a boyfriend with a piano and a guitar, I really don't have an excuse. So this is me holding myself accountable, basically. So there are a lot of benefits to learning an instrument. That is why I always point it out. First of all, obviously with creativity, but also your analytical skills. I say like music is very mathematical, truly is. So this helps with math. But it also actually helps with language, which is really cool, probably because not just when you're reading the music, but just music is a language in itself. You know, you have to learn all these little codes and everything, so it makes sense. Just as coding is a language, you know, or math. And also, obviously, which I really need, fine motor skills. Number 8 is to study and learn. Whether you decide to take a course at school or just study some subjects you're interested in, that is something that really helps your intelligence, and it is proven that a longer education correlates to higher intelligence. Whether or not the correlation is this way or the other way is really impossible to say, but I really can only think about benefits to studying. Number 9. This is a really like personal advice that I can't say that I have any studies on. There are probably studies, I don't have them, but it has truly helped me a lot and helped me basically through my higher education. And this is not a sponsor, do not worry, I'm not that popular yet, but it is an app called Elevate that basically has these really specific and fun and a very big variety of games to help you with math, reading, writing, and your vocabulary. Especially for me with math, it has helped me get like super quick at doing math. I don't really know the English word. We call it like head math in Norway. Basically like doing math without having to write anything down. This is Dallas. I'm adopting him in exactly a week. It will be my birthday, and his love is my birthday present for myself this year. He's from a litter that we raised, and he's actually deaf, and he has to be an indoor cat, but I just have to have him. He's the cutest. He's a little bit busy right now because I have so much stuff in my office, but he's the best. So basically, the which is, doing math without having to write anything down or using a calculator. I've really seen improvements there. But also with vocabulary, and also they have this awesome game that I totally love where you, by getting a definition of a word, put together the word like part by part. You know how words have like different, like you have the stem of the word and you have build on. And by learning all of these and learning what the individual part of the word learns, it is so much easier to know what a word means without having to look it up and never having heard it before. Just because you like notice all of the small parts, you can sort of like piece together what the word actually means. And that is something that sounds so nerdy, but it's so incredibly helpful in reading and all of that. And it's just amazing to me, really, truly. So that is my favorite game, and that is an app that I totally recommend you at least checking out. Not that anything is like a key or, you know, like you can take the elevators to intelligence or whatever, but for me it's really like, I think it's sort of a fast track, and it just gets you into the mode of learning in like a chill way, and it also just helps so much with like the other parts, so just like reading and understanding, you know. Anyways, let me know if you're interested in a video on how to sound more intelligent and also on how to become more intellectual. On this channel, I empower you through knowledge and motivation, so definitely subscribe for that because I know you want to be empowered, and I will see you soon. Bye.